I'm not really sure what just happened, but let's see if we can get our guest back. What's up, y'all? Trying to.
What
Yeah.
we do? Time out? You can only do what, an hour on Instagram Live or what?
No, I had that happen on the last show with Kay and Sneakerland, but I felt like that only happened because she was in Canada. They do have that, but usually my shows usually be hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes. So I
Huh.
happened with that, but I know we were talking
Well,
about.
we're back.
Yeah, we back for a little bit longer, but I was gonna show a few eights. Um,
Okay.
these are out just because I just wore them probably last week. The South Beaches or Turbo Greens. Um, the
Oh, I do
Chrome.
have another.
Okay, go ahead. You wanna show it right quick?
Oh, well, you can keep showing because I'm gonna have to stand up for this. So I'm gonna watch you, and I'm gonna grab this last eight I forgot I had.
Yeah. So we'll go with the Chromes here. Uh, got old one. These are my hairs from 2003. You see how oxidized they are? They're probably no longer wearable. So, but I still keep them in the. You got the alternates right there. I see you.
Yep, yep. I got
Uh,
these for a steal at an event, and I was like, all right, how can I turn that down? And they are used, but again, I mean, they look pretty darn clean.
yeah, I don't. Hey, I rock with used. Got the cool grays here.
Yo,
Uh,
I searched for those so hard, them cool grays, before I got the Valentine's Day pair. I was like, I need those cool gray 8. And then I was like, you know what? If I had to choose between the two, let me go with the all red Valentine's Day. But
I'd
them cool grays are fire.
have made that choice too. So we're gonna go a little different. We're gonna go with the low from 2003. Um,
Okay.
before they ever retroed the playoffs properly in '07 or 13, they brought them out as a low first, which is pretty random. Uh, still got the box and the retro card, the the face box. So
Yeah, the box is so iconic.
yeah,
I miss when they used to do the cards with all the different silhouettes on it. Like I remember I had a friend that had Jordans, and I used to sit there and like stare at that card and be like, "Ooh, I like this one and I like this one." And that was before I even had them. I was like, "All right, these are the ones that I need to go for. I just need to figure out how to get them."
yeah, yeah. Well, another pair of these. Just got a few more for y'all right quick before we move on. I don't ever really come in here, so this is like a treat for me. You know,
This is dope. I love it. I'm here for it.
so just let the boxes fall as they may. Um, so this is an original women's Aqua 8 from 2007. A lot of wears in these, a lot of good times. So, um, you know,
Yeah, I
these
can't do too much blue and yellow on shoes. I don't think I own a pair of shoes with blue and yellow. I
really
can't do it.
not
I'm
even.
I was born and raised in Ohio. I'm like Ohio State to like listen, my whole bedroom when I was 15 was scarlet and gray. Like the paint on the walls, the bedspread, everything. So I can't do I'm going to Detroit next month for an event and I'm shocked because I'm like I never thought I'd set foot in Michigan. So I'm like that type of Ohio State fan. Like I'm a Buckeye.
All right, fair enough. Now I am from Cleveland. We've only been living out here for 2 years, so
Okay.
40 years. I am from Cleveland, and I hate Michigan. My one of the guys I work with
I
at
like
Converse
you even more.
from Michigan. Yeah, I mean, you know, I yeah, I mean, if I don't see any other Ohio State games, I make sure I watch Ohio State versus Michigan just to make sure.
100%.
Kill it.
100%. And then after we win, we gonna make sure that we tell every one of our people that like Michigan, like, oh, how about that game? That was nice, right?
It was hard last year. It was hard, but it's all good. It's all good. We had to lose sometimes. So, but just a few more. This is like the working man's OVO. I call it. You know, the champagne 8.
Yep.
The working man's
Yep.
OVO. Just a few more, y'all. Y'all know this is early 10s here. This is forgettable, but the Phoenix Suns 8s or Phoenix 8s, whatever you want to call it. You must have a pair of 8s. If you don't have any others, you got to have a pair of Aquas.
I need a pair of those. That's definitely one that's still high on the list, man.
Right. Of course, these bricks, the 3-peat 8s, couldn't give these away in 2015. The store I was at. And lastly, the playoffs. So this is a pair from 2007. So y'all see the box.
Yep.
I appreciate you.
Do you do any reselling, or do you just buy to add to the personal collection?
Yeah, I just buy to wear. Like, if I ever got out of the game, I feel like I'd be in good shape because I'd be able to just sell all of this stuff. But you know, I just love sneakers, man. Like, I wasn't quite sure I would still be this old and still be this into it. I can't believe that all of this stuff is mine, but you know.
It's kind of amazing though, like to just look at it and be like just, and I think I love your collection because you have so many like OGs and so many pairs from like way back when. Like I'm pretty sure you have pairs that are older than me, which is amazing. And the fact that like, do you have any pairs that are like not wearable any longer, or are most of your pairs still wearable?
Most of them are still wearable. It kind of makes me feel a way that, damn, I really am getting older when something from 2005 or 6 will crumble, because I can remember buying it. Like, during the pandemic, my wife and I went grocery shopping, and for whatever reason, I wore my Olive 5s. And after I got back home, I could see where the sole was starting to come off. And it just killed, because,
yes, I feel that.
you know, like, other than, you know, because it's so easy to accumulate ones. Ones of the Jordan I have the most of. A lot of them are behind me, and even more
Yep.
down here. But the 5 and the 6 are like right after as far as quantity. So it's like, yeah, I got a lot of 5s, but I want that 5. You know what I mean? I need that green and orange 5. The Fear 5
Right.
is close. I almost didn't buy it because it looked like a fake Olive to me, but I'm glad I have it now since that Olive is, you know, kind of dying. But, you know. Now, how old are you? You say I got sneakers older than you. How old are you?
I'm 31. I was born in 91. So you've already pulled some pairs that you were like what, or mid 90s. And I'm like, dang, man. But I wish that, like, that's one thing. My husband's 10 years older than me. So he has original pairs that, like, I wasn't even, like, buying my own sneakers at that time. You know what I mean? Like, I was, like, a kid. So I wish that I had been born like at least 10 years earlier so that I could have, you know, really started when everything started coming out as far as Jordans. Because I feel like, yeah, sneakers have always kind of been a thing. But let's be honest, like Jordan, I feel like is what really created the sneaker culture to be what it is today. Because I don't know any sneakerhead that doesn't have like a gang of Jordans, because that's a staple anymore.
Agreed. So your husband was born in 80 or 81?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
81.
when I was born in 1980. So, but see, I always say this. I always say I wish I would have been born in 1970. So I feel you, you know, because
Okay.
it's like a teenager in the 80s instead of just a little kid, instead of, you know, playing with my toys. I would have been buying
You'd
sneakers then.
appreciate everything more. You'd be more aware and understand, and yeah.
Because I'm already unnecessarily nostalgic anyway. So I would have, because I have my memories of the 80s. I can remember quite a bit, but I just wish I would have been a little older. You know, in 1988, I was 8. So I remember, but it wouldn't have been it would have been different if I'd have been 16 or 20 or something, you know?
Yep, for sure.
All right. Well, I do have to ask you some, just the last, a couple more questions before we go. So what collection, what direction would you like to see your collection go in the future?
Honestly, I have no idea off the top of my head because I feel like it's hard to say. Before, I probably would have said, oh, to collect more OGs, but I have a good amount. And, as, releases happen, you're getting, certain OGs to retro, but you're also getting some crazy collabs, and a lot of them anymore. So I don't know that there's a specific direction, but it's just more of just kind of seeing what comes out and, going for what I like and just letting the collection grow based on that. I don't have a specific what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I just had a avalanche happen there. Let me come out of here. It's ugly in there. Let me get out of there. Okay. Whew. Let me get back.
You made it out alive. That's the important part.
Yeah. Yeah. I always, for people into Stranger Things, I always call that shoe room the Upside Down.
Okay. So, yep. I get that.
Sticker upside down because it's hard to get in there. It's really too much stuff in there to begin with, but this house is set up a little different than our previous one. We had a basement there, and it was different, yeah. Basements. So yeah, but okay. What is on your radar next?
I mean, the reimagined or lost and found ones. I think that's kind of a huge shoe on a lot of people's radar. I've been looking to try to get a pair of Chicago's for a minute because that's the OG of OGs, and it's just been kind of the price range. So as soon as those popped up, and then the fact that I love that vintagey historical, again referencing the two with the cracked sole, like I love stuff like that. I love that nostalgic, look to it. So that's a no-brainer. I am really looking forward to the velvet 11s that they're doing, the navy with the velvet instead of that patent leather. I'm really excited about that. I am. So I'm like, all right, I can wear those with a lot of my cowboy stuff. The Chicago 2s are definitely on there as well, but what's the base for?
You said Cowboys?
I am a Cowboys fan, yes.
All right, let me just ask you. So how long have you been in Florida?
7 years.
So you were in Ohio the whole other rest of the time?
No, I went from Ohio, then in 2008 I moved to Buffalo, New York, and then in 2015 I moved down to Florida. But I will explain. Okay. So I've never been that into NFL. Like, Ohio State, like I was big into the college football. I didn't really care for NFL. My husband's a Cowboys fan, so I became a Cowboys fan, and then the have Ezekiel Elliott from the Ohio State. It just kind of, I have his jersey, his Cowboys jersey, so it kind of all, made sense in the end. So I know everybody's going to say what they want about the Cowboys. Everybody's always got an opinion on them. I knew I was going to get something. So, but yes, I still stand by them.
No, it's cool. I mean, they are a historic franchise. I mean, I'm Cleveland everything except for basketball.
So you even rocking with the Browns?
Absolutely.
Okay. See, I have a lot of respect for that. My grandfather, and listen, every time they were on, he's downstairs in the basement, sitting in the rocking chair in front of the TV. Like you couldn't say nothing to him if the Browns were on. If the Indians were on, if the Browns were on, like, yes, my grandfather loved his home state teams because we weren't from Cleveland, but he loved his teams, and he was true to them to the end, man. So
Yeah, I mean,
I have a lot of respect for that.
I appreciate it. I mean, what would be interested is when we would go down to Columbus, it would be kind of like, since it's right in the middle, you would
Hmm.
see Bengal stuff, you see
Yep.
Red stuff, as well as Indians stuff. So, everybody had to root for the Cavs if you were in the NBA, since,
Oh, for sure.
Cincinnati hasn't had a basketball team since like the 60s. So, um, but nah, I can't, like, people are like, oh, well, you going to root for Carolina? I'm like, nah, I can't root for everybody. But I only asked you how long you were down there because since the Panthers are still so new in this area's history, and this is such a basketball area, because I'm right by UNC and Duke. I'm like 20 minutes from either. Um, People either fuck with the Cowboys or the Steelers down here. I see a lot of
Yep.
Cowboys or fans down here in North Carolina, because that was their team before the Panthers. So, I see it. I was hoping that moving away from Cleveland, because it's a lot of Steelers fans in Cleveland. It's plenty of them since it's so close.
Yeah. Yep.
I see the Steelers logo as much as I see it down here. It's too
Yeah.
much.
But Steelers, I mean, I feel like Steelers fans are everywhere, and that's one that like they are. When you talk about die hard, they are die hard fans, and I mean, like I said, I'll stick by the Cowboys, but I mean, you get Steelers fans, and my dad's girlfriend is a huge Steelers fan, and he goes for the Browns because he was born and raised all his life. He lived in Ohio until recent, but she will wear head to toe like that, the Steelers colors, and she got the leggings and the shirt and everything, and I'm like, that's a lot. That is a lot. But kudos, to them because their fans don't play at all.
Sure, sure. Now, before we go, did you have any questions for me?
Um, I mean, I feel like I've been asking you questions throughout this whole thing, like, asking different things. What was the shoe that really got you started and big into collecting?
The Infrared 6. That's what got me into sneakers back when I was in fourth grade in 1991. Cheesy as it's going to sound, like that feeling I had of being like the only kid in the school with those shoes, like it like changed me, getting that, it's like, it's different than a regular shoe. Because back then, and I mean, again, it's gonna sound cheesy, but in the '90s, if you had a Jordan, you were like special because everybody didn't have them. Now everybody,
Yeah.
you go to the mall, every other person has a pair of Jordans on, so it's different now. But my dad, he came home with the whole kit, the short set, the hat, the bag, and the Jordans, all Air Jordan. Like, that was the first shoe I ever wanted. The first shoe I ever bought was an Agassi, and the first Jordan I ever bought was known now as the He Got Game 13.
Okay.
That
That's
was back
dope.
in '97. So yeah, that's kind of what got me. Those are like special shoes.
So, what would you say that your all-time favorite shoe? All I want to ask this two ways. So, two shoes, or it could even just be one. What is your all-time favorite shoe in your collection, and then your all-time favorite shoe of all time, whether you have it or it's on your list to grab?
It's the same shoe. I've had my Chicago ones since 8th grade, and I still have and wear them.
That's
Um,
amazing.
yeah, they're, ooh, I feel like going back in there and showing y'all, but it's a little situation in there now. But they're oxidized. They look kind of like the pair that's about to come out, but they're still so oxidized that. And my wife is heavy in the shoe game, like I told y'all earlier, but she won't go anywhere with me with those because how they look. So, because they're like really oxidized and they've been through quite a bit. But I got them when I was 14, 15, so to still have them,
That's
I'm happy.
amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I regret not buying a pair in 2015 because I could have got them for like $86, $87 back then, but I never thought they were going to be the way that they are because, they just had a pair come out in 2013 and those didn't do anything at the time because they were made like
Yeah,
shit.
those were the ones with the weird, like the Jumpman on the tag or whatever, right? Like those are the ones that look like knockoffs. I'm like, I don't know why they did that.
Yeah, that's why I feel like, you know, it was only 2 years later. It's like, nah, we got to do a better job. But I knew that they were going to raise in value, but I didn't think they were going to quite be what they are. Because even in 2014, 15, you know, Jordan 1s were still just kind of, all right. You know, if it wasn't the bread or the royal, this is kind of whatever.
Yeah.
So, you know, that and the shattered backboard are probably my biggest regrets because the company I was working for at the time was giving me, you know, 40, 50% off because I was a store manager. So, yeah, it's tough, but it's good.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, these taxi ones that are about to come out are going to be my shattered backboards like my Pine Green 1.0s are since I didn't buy the actual shattered backboards.
Okay. Yeah, the taxi ones are dope. Like I personally think those hit way better than the pollen ones. And the pollen ones were super hyped up when they were coming out, but just the way they did the, you know, the color blocking on these, yeah. I had actually had a friend of mine that um he's always kind of been into sneakers, but now since, you know, he's got me and my husband constantly like doing this and showing him new pairs, he's always like, all right, this pair's coming out. I need y'all to get it for me, or this pair's coming out. So he's like, the pollens, I think I want to circle back and grab them. I'm like, no, bro, wait, because these taxi ones that are coming out, though, and he saw one picture and was like, okay, yep, that's the one I need. So yeah, those things, those and the Georgetown sixes that are gonna come out. You seen pictures of those too? I know you have.
Yeah.
Them things gonna be a problem.
Yeah, the 6, it's the one silhouette out of any of the Jordans, even more so than the one where no matter how it's colored, I'm gonna look at it. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm gonna buy it, but I'm gonna look at it, you know, because I love the 6. Like I'm looking for more pairs of denims now that I can do random things to.
Would
So
you say six is your favorite silhouette?
not it's I'll say this, it's my favorite Jordan to wear, but not
Okay.
necessarily my favorite. It's my favorite Jordan to wear. I love the spoiler and the tongue. Like, you know, I feel like I'm on another level when I have a pair of 6s on.
So what's your favorite silhouette?
You know, I'm gonna just say the Chuck Taylor.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna go different with it.
I'm gonna just say that since I've been down south, I've tried to, even before I started working for Converse, I um, wanted to incorporate more Converse and more Vans into um, my rotation because I've had them, but in Ohio, I just didn't really wear them that much. And a lot of times because of the weather, you know, you can't, you know, but up until working for Converse, the Dunk was the silhouette that I had the most of out of any shoe. So if it wouldn't be the Chuck, it would probably be the Dunk.
All right. Yep. I feel you on that. That one. Do you like dunk lows or you like the highs better, or does it depend on the colorway?
Um, I mean, both are good. I don't really like the mid Dunk,
Yep.
which that's maybe anyway. But um, I'll say I prefer highs. The last time I counted my Dunks, it was close. It was only maybe like a 5 pair difference where I might have had 45 lows and maybe like 50 highs or something like that. You know, it's close. So,
That's a
but
good amount of dunks.
yeah.
So
Oh,
so
sorry.
do
Go
you
ahead.
do more of like the general release dunks or like the SBs? What does your collection look more of?
Oh, it's a nice mixture of both, really. I'd probably say it's probably down the middle. Um, Most of my SBs are older ones from maybe '03 to like '08. And then I got back into The SBs probably from like 11 to 14. But I have a lot of
Okay.
just dunks that were $29.99 at Burlington or Foot Locker or whatever too. So even if they weren't SBs, I would still wear them just because I just like dunks. It's weird to see
Right.
them be, people buying white and black dunks and stuff. Like I never thought this would
And
happen.
they still reselling. Like
Yeah.
they done restocked a million times and they still reselling and doing numbers. Whatever. Are your dunks in the Avalanche room or accessible?
I mean, they're in there, but I can get through there. They're on the other side, so I wouldn't have to
Because
do
I'd
that. They
I'd
happen right.
love, if you don't mind going back in there, I would love to see your favorite dunk high and your favorite dunk low that you have. Because I love seeing dunks and all the different details.
Okay. All right. I can. What's good is they're right next to each other.
Oh, that's convenient.
So, I'll, here, I'll just put this here. Okay. So, my favorite high top, De La Soul.
Oh, those are a classic.
Yeah, those are my
Yeah, those
favorite
are
high.
fire.
My favorite low is the Hunter.
Okay. I think I've seen those one other time. Those are super awesome too. It's funny because I've been starting to get into like the older dunks. Like there's one pair. It's funny, I was just talking about this earlier today. There's one pair of dunk lows that I'm going for because of the nostalgia, and I would have to, because normally I'm a 7, I would have to get a 7.5, and there's only one that I can find out there, and it's the Dorothy dunk low. And I feel like the seller is playing with me, man. Like I'm the only person that's been bidding on it for like a month, and they won't just give it to me, and I can't find it nowhere else. So it's like either if I don't pay that price they want, it's a shoe that I may never have an opportunity to have again. And man, listen,
How much are they
it's
going
very
for?
frustrating. The seller wants $400 for them. I keep bidding, like
Ugh.
I think I have a bid in for like 3, but it's the nostalgia. It's the Wizard of Oz. I used to sit and I used to watch that with my grandma every time it came on, and my grandma's name was Dorothy. So it's like it's the whole thing. It's like I need that shoe, man. I would throw glittery red laces in it though, like the ruby slippers, like have it sparkle like that. Something different. But I
You got,
already know what laces I want. I need the shoe though.
yeah. I will say, out of all of these shoes, like I've never paid more than 300 for a shoe. I've paid resale for stuff for my wife, but never for me. 300 is tops, but that shoe seems to have such a sentimental thing. And it's one of my favorite movies from when I was a kid. So if I could come
Yeah.
across a pair, maybe I would grab them. But what's the most you would want to pay for them?
Oh, I mean, if I had to, I'd pay asking. But it's just a matter of it's one of those games, we all play the games here and there, especially if we're paying resale. It's one of those games where, you want to wait and see if they bite. Because I started off super low and I've been gradually increasing it. So I'm like, all right, do they bite? But then you also risk if somebody else happens to jump on them and, offer exactly what they want or higher than I did, and they jump on it. So it's that stupid little game we play.
Nah, I feel you. I feel you. Look, before we come out of here, I did want to show y'all one more pair since we're talking about dunks. I've had this pair for a very long time. Y'all can see the price, $64.99. Y'all see the box. Now look, we're Ohio people, so you got to forgive me for this one. But I do have these. I've had these since 1999. They're the oldest dunk that I have. You know, the paint is starting to chip off the swoosh a little bit. Michigan basketball is the only thing that could ever get a pass. Never football, but basketball, because of the Fab Five and everything, I do have those dunks. So hopefully you don't look at me any different for having some Michigan dunks. But
listen, wait a second. Let me tell you how disrespectful my husband's collection is. All right? This is the shoe that I hate most in his collection, and you're gonna understand in like 2 seconds.
is that 12?
Why he do that to me?
12, yeah.
Why he do that to me? Knowing darn well I'm a diehard Ohio State fan, and he want to add these stupid things. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a nice shoe, but it's stupid.
Yeah. That's his pair or yours?
Oh, that's his.
Okay.
I would not wear these things. These things would not touch my feet. I'm surprised I'm holding it right now.
Yeah.
No.
That's a whole nother level. See, one of my favorite things about the dunk is, even though
What is this thing?
Okay. That's the
This is his as well.
Jam on it.
This is his shoe as well. I'm starting to pull his stuff because it's the older stuff. But yeah, and I don't get to pull his stuff very often. Only time I really pull is when I'm doing battles and I can't pull his stuff.
Yeah. Nah, I get you. Well, I'm not sure what happened with that first part of the live there. I hope this hour-long thing isn't a, I hope Instagram didn't do that. Maybe it's a setting I have, but I definitely appreciate you for being on here. You know, thank you.
I appreciate you having me. It's been great. It's been a lot of fun, and shoot, I'd come on again anytime for you.
All right, cool. Well, I will definitely be in touch. I'll definitely be seeing you on Facebook as well. Yeah. Hey, before we go, you know, go ahead and let everybody know where they can find you and, you know, all you got going on.
All right. So if y'all haven't, you know, check me out already or figure it out already, find me at An Eye for Kicks on Instagram, specifically YouTube. I even have some merch. I don't know if y'all peeped it, but I got the Jordan, you know, t-shirt on. It's got An Eye for Kicks instead of Jordan on his back. So, you know, I got a couple little merch items there too. But yeah, make sure y'all go subscribe to my YouTube channel and, you know, show some love and support. And I am starting to travel for events too. So I got Detroit coming up next month. October, I'll be in Dallas. So if anybody is in any of the areas, make sure y'all keep an eye out for your girl, because I will be around. And I'm always down to put people on camera, you know, show how big but close-knit this community really is.
All right, cool. All right. Well, on behalf of An Eye for Kicks here, Shorty C94, we're going to sign out right now. Thank you for everybody. I don't know what happened with Instagram and the live thing, but we will both see you soon. Peace.